an Italian running magazine, who reached out to me to learn more about the race I ran in 2024 in October in Morocco. It was September 2024, just a few months ago, when on my Instagram I received a message from an account I did not know. The message said, "Hi Francesca, we are looking for athletes that would be willing to come to Morocco and run a 60K to support the victims, the villages, the people that were hit by the earthquake in September of last year, 2023. Keep in mind, a few of my favorite things in life are running, nature, and exploring new places, traveling. So the idea of being invited to run in or taking part in this race that is in Morocco, beautiful, beautiful, stunning place in the mountains. So to run there and to go explore a place I had never visited really before, that was really, really exciting. Add to this the fact that I would be running and doing all these things that I love for charity, for a good purpose, to help to raise money, funds to support these communities. That was the cherry on the cake. And I was like, yeah, but there is one problem. I was already planning on going back to Europe for Christmas. The race took place in October, and I couldn't afford to fly back to Europe twice in a season. So I was really disappointed, I suppose, and I said, I'm sorry, as much as I'd love to come and support you guys and run this race, I am not able to at this time. So very kindly, the organization, which is, by the way, Atlas Hope Ultra, responded, no worries, we can help you with the flights as long as you're able to pay for the entry fee. Thanks to that additional help of them taking care of my flights, I was able to participate in this race. Move forward a couple weeks, it's October. I'm leaving at the end of October, so I had a few weeks, only a few weeks really, because this all kind of happened very last minute. I only had a few weeks to set up my fundraiser account through the High Atlas Foundation, which is another organization that helps Morocco with different projects, whether it is because of the earthquake, rebuilding houses and homes and structures for the people in Morocco, whether it's education to help even the poorest villages, smallest villages have access to education, and so on and so forth. I set up my fundraiser account using my Instagram, Franchi_ROT. I try with my small community. I don't have a ton of followers, so I just try with family and friends to share what I'm about to do, what the purpose of the run is, and to, accumulate as much money as I can to give to the communities in Morocco. I'm able to collect about $1,500, almost $2,000, which I'm really proud of, and I'm really, really grateful to all of the people that were able to help me in this mission, in this challenge to raise money in such a short time. I arrive in Marrakesh. This is end of October. There are about 3 sections of this event that I would like to talk about. One of these being the race itself. The race is a 60K, and let me check the elevation gain. It's almost 2,000 meters, 1,900 meters, which would be 6,200 feet. Yes, pretty tough. It starts, the first half of the race is quite hilly or mountainous, if you will. There are three mountain tips that we had to reach, the third one being the highest one. And then the second part of the race is more of a downhill, um, like a mellow, slow, gentle downhill. And if the first section is mountainous, the second section is desertic, which is very fascinating. In fact, this race is so incredible because I have never taken part in any race where you have so much, where nature is so diverse. You start running in from a little village, a Miz. You start the race, then you start going up, and I think I've seen it all: the forests, the canyons, the deserts, even multiple deserts that had different colors. Some were more like reddish with low bushes. Some were just like yellow, white, and desertic with nothing around them. Then you kind of run through little villages, which is really impressive because the earthquake happened in the mountain region, so the Atlas mountain area. And many of the villages that we ran through are the villages that were hit by the earthquake. So you're already in this like state of fatigue and pain, obviously, as often always happens when you're running. But on top of that, it becomes a very intimate, unique moment because you are in pain for this physical effort you are doing, but emotionally it hits you really hard because all around you you have like these houses that are broken down and stones all over the place, and yet you have the kids and the people that come out from their houses and villages and tents, um, because still after almost a year, actually over a year, there's still, many of them are still living in tents because their homes are not, were not rebuilt yet, or not rebuilt yet. So you're running, and despite all the this despite the situation, you are surrounded by the broken houses and cracks and the desolation. The people of the villages, the kids, the little animals, they just come towards you with the biggest smile, and they're just like waving their hands, which I thought was really touching. And in contrast, right, the optimism, positivity of the people compared to the destruction that you're running through. But the race was really pretty, and again, very diverse. It was really interesting. I always try to pick races that are fun to run in, so that if I'm really in pain or fatigued, I can always look up and enjoy what is all around me and feel blessed that I'm there running, feeling good, feeling healthy, just tired, but all around me is like beauty. And so this race was really stunning in that sense. Um, and it never got boring. And even the fact that it was so diverse in terms also of elevation and terrain, the first part being more of a hilly part and the second part being like this gentle long descent till you entered in this desertic. I remember thinking this must be how the moon looks like, if you were to run on the moon, which obviously. So the race was really fun and challenging, and it wasn't a competitive race, so it was a group of people of all ages and backgrounds, which I'll get to in just a second because that's another beautiful part of this event. The people, the community. It wasn't a competitive race, so it was also the first time of Atlas Hope Ultra organizing this race, obviously because it just, the earthquake kind of just happened, which made it even more special. The effort they put into organizing this race, Alex, the brilliant mind behind this event. So yeah, so not a competitive race, which I think I appreciated. Of course, if you are a competitive person, you can go for it and go as fast as you want to. I enjoyed the race from the beginning to the end, and then at the end, we arrived at the hotel where we were staying. So then it was really easy to, um, arrive, take a shower, chill, snack, eat, be surrounded by the people you know and you're doing this with. So that was really, really great. And throughout the race, there were several different aid stations where you would have the most amazing food, the Mediterranean food, mixed with more European snacks. So you'd have, crackers and cookies, and also the more Moroccan kind of food that I went for, since it felt to me like it's more natural, like, bananas and dates and nuts. Everything was really, really delicious. And the people helping in these aid stations were local people, the Moroccans that helped Alex, the organizer, with the event. They helped with not only with the aid stations, but they helped in many different ways with, marking the trail, the race route. They help with building structures for the race. They helped in ways that I don't even know because I was just a participant, but um, there was so much more to the event, the before, the race, and the after, that I don't know all the details. But yeah, I was talking to Alex, and it's really incredible how much they were able to help. And also the fact that we were there in this event gave these people the chance to work and make money. So we were able, with our entry fees and our and the money we raised, to also give them a salary that perhaps for some of them probably hadn't had in a while because of the earthquake kind of interrupting and interfering with whatever their business or job was before. So that was really special too. Another amazing part of this event was the before and after the race, the help and the support we could give to the communities. The aim of the event was, of course, to raise awareness about the earthquake and these communities that still, after more than a year since the event, are still living in tents, still living in very precarious, terrible conditions with the winter just around the corner. And so the race was one part, but then we were also able to join these people in their villages, see with our own eyes what the situation currently is, and we were able to see also where the money we had raised would go into. So these people have lost their houses. They have also lost, which sadly it's not replaceable with any kind of money or anything really. They've lost their loved ones. The earthquake hit them in the middle of the night. So a lot of people lost their lives in their homes while they were sleeping, which is really sad. And we were able to see where the money would be invested. So people lost their homes, the water foundations and structures were damaged, and the kids no longer had a school. So we saw the beautiful structures that I believe came from Belgium that have now become their schools. These tents that are insulated, and they also have like a special system, I suppose, where at night, because of that difference in the temperature excursion from day and night, the condensation droplets are collected into the ground, so that allows for vegetation like herbs and fruit trees to grow around this tent, so that they can actually grow their own vegetables and fruits. We were also able to go visit the slammed village. I don't know if I'm mistaken. I believe it was about a 30 to 40-minute drive from our hotel, up in the mountains, and the roads were really muddy and it had rained all night long. I remember waking up really early in the morning and thinking, I'm in this warm, cozy hotel protected by, a roof. And I was thinking of the kids and people and families I had met a few days prior that were still living in these metal, plastic, fabric tents, and just feeling just really sad. So on this day, we go to the Slant village where we donated 50 coats, winter coats, to the kids of the village. And I believe the weather, in a way, was kind of symbolic of this donation, this specific donation, because under the rain, making us all cold and wet, we were able, to just give each and every kid these fake puff coats. So I'm really glad that at least the kids this winter have a just good clothes, a nice jacket to wear on those colder days. I mean, I personally often think of Morocco as this warm country where it's always sunny and it's always nice, and people go on vacation to the beach and go enjoy the warmth and the sun. But we are here in a part of Morocco that is on the mountains, and winter is winter and it's really cold. And even as I was running the race, there was the first section in the early morning that was really cold, and around midday it became really hot because of that desertic climate where it shifts from cold to hot really fast. Also, apart from what we materialistically were able to do and provide, I think what these people were really grateful for was the recognition, the support. So emotionally, knowing that there are people that are finally seeing them and dedicating this time this week to helping them and supporting them, I think that is really what made a very big difference. They were no longer neglected. They felt seen and they felt helped. As I mentioned earlier, the event was, first of all, a bit of a last minute idea. So not very many people, at least for this first year, were able to take part. But I'm sure that this is going to grow in time. It's going to happen again next year, so in 2025. The people that joined, we all had very different backgrounds, but we all had also one or two things in common, which were the passion for running. Some people were road runners, some others were ultra runners. The girl that I shared the room with, Aid, she is actually a professional elite runner. So it was so interesting to learn about all these people's lives and what brought them to the event. And so, because it wasn't a huge group, it was really easy, especially at night or in every moment, really, to just bond. And at the end of the week, I just felt like these people were like brothers and sisters, because we had a chance not only to get to know each other really well, or kind of well, because we would spend so much time together, um, but also, as it's often the case, when you experience something that is emotionally very touching, or also hard in many ways, if you share that feeling, that also helps you bond with the people that you're sharing these emotions with. So I think that's what happened, and that's what made it really hard to go back to the real life. I missed the people at the event quite a bit. And then, of course, as always, we are adaptable creatures. So we all went back to our daily lives and routines, but we are still in touch. And I think that's really cool that we have made new important friendships during this 1 week. And hopefully I will get to see them again next year as well. So this is just a very brief description of what the event is and was and has been for me. There is more information on the website of the event. The race again is called Atlas Hope Ultra. Ultra because it's an ultra marathon. It's more than a standard marathon in terms of distance. Atlas because the run, but also, and most importantly, the villages that were hit by the earthquake, they are in the Atlas Mountains. Some of these villages are so high up in the mountains in such remote areas that no aid, no help has yet been provided to these villages because they're too hard to reach. Imagine that. Every day after this, after spending hours and long time together with these communities, I would come home and I needed to take some time for myself to kind of understand, get in touch with my emotions, because it was very intense to be there and wanting to help, and at the same time realizing how lucky I am with all that I have. And and I myself, I still complain a lot about how things are going in my life, just because sometimes we just get in that habit of never being happy with what we have. And I think that was really important for me to see, because you are surrounded by um, destruction, if you will. And these people, the kids, the adults, are first of all so welcoming, so friendly, but also, me, because they live in communities and they know they can support each other and they always have each other's back. Everyone seems very positive, and the kids are very loud and excited. Um, so that is just incredible to see. And I think it teaches you also to think about your life under a different lens. And yeah, it kind of, it helps you see your own life in a different perspective. And I think it's very important. If you never get out of your shell, you can hardly see your situation from above or from a different with a different filter. So I think in general, that's why traveling is so important. Another thing I did not mention earlier is that with the money we have collected through our fundraisers, we were able to organize a race for the kids on the very last day. A short race up a little hill, and it was a lot of fun to organize the groups based on the different ages, um, put their numbers, their bibs on their shirts with the safety pins, and just see the excitement of these kids that probably never really run a race. But these people, these kids, they don't have much, right? So all they do is run and be out and be creative, make up games. Um, and that was really crazy. You could see these kids, how fearless they were when they were running, especially on those downhills where the Europeans would be more careful. The kids were just flying down the hill, no fear whatsoever. So it was fun to cheer for them and just see how much fun they were having in this race. And at the end, for all of the kids, we provided a medal, and then separately, as not to hurt the other kids, the winners of each group would also get some sports gear, and this to encourage sports from a young age in this country, in these villages. I'm really appreciative of Atlas Hope Ultra for organizing all of this. I'm really glad I went, and I got to meet these amazing people that ran the race with me. Um, we had amazing food. Everyone who had um, food restrictions. Some of us were vegetarians, some were vegans. The hotel was able to make everyone happy. There were options for everyone. So that was actually really, really helpful as well. If you have any questions, you can comment below. And yeah, let's stay in touch. I am happy to answer any questions you may have. So just let me know. Thank you. Bye.